Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Today we're week 16, so basically we only have 3 more meetings left today in another 2 weeks. Plus we have the special extra online meeting we have this Wednesday at 7. Uh, this Wednesday at 7, log in a few minutes before so that you're ready. And you have the same link as last time. It's on the WhatsApp group. And it's better if you join it from a computer or an iPad to be easier for you. So today, week 16, I want to talk to you a little bit and give you introduction to 2 more practical advertising platforms. So last week I gave you introduction to Google Ads. And of course, Facebook and Google are the 2 biggest players in the industry. But I do want, and I was asked also by Yair and Leo from Yair College to give you also a brief introduction into Twitter and LinkedIn ads. So if you remember at the beginning of the course, when we had an overview of the different channels of social media, I also gave you a course about Twitter and LinkedIn, and I showed you how to use it, what people use it for, what type of people can we find there, how to use it, how to open your account, how to open and have your LinkedIn profile. Now also you can reach out to people and create some type of social media marketing in an organic way. Remember, organic, the term organic meaning that it's free, you don't have to pay extra versus the paid advertising, which is non-organic. So today we're going to go to the side of the non-organic, to the paid advertising of LinkedIn and Twitter. So we're going to start with LinkedIn and then Twitter. You will see that because you're already familiar with Facebook ads and even Google ads from last week, they all more or less use the same type of methods, the same type of campaign building. If you're familiar with Facebook, you'll see the same steps basically, where you have to choose in the beginning the goal of your campaign. If you want to try to put your ad in front of as many people as possible, or what we call like a brand awareness or a maximum reach campaign. If you want to go for a traffic campaign where you want to get a maximum amount of people that will click on your ad and go to your website, or if you want to go for a leads campaign where someone clicks and they have a little form that they have to fill up with their name, email, phone number, whatever. So more or less, also on those platforms that we're going to talk about today, Twitter and LinkedIn, they also have the same layout and the same options. But we're going to touch and see a little bit more inside how it looks and what to do with it, if at all you will want to do it for yourself or for any of your clients or the company that you work for. So, of course, as always, you will find some links that you can look after the class or later on part of week 16. You have links both to the direct links where you can go to the LinkedIn itself and to Twitter to launch your ad campaign or to test it out, as well as some resources where you have some guides, very detailed guides that are very well explained by the leading resources in the industry to help you also to get the answers to any questions you might have and to see really step by step how it works. Now with that introduction, let's jump right in. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is basically the LinkedIn ads advertising homepage or so, similar to Facebook. They will tell you, of course, that they are the best place to advertise online. And why is that? Because LinkedIn, if you remember, is the #1 business social network. Okay, so Facebook is for everyone, children, young adults, people of all ages, all if they have a job, if they don't have a job, if they want to have fun, if they want to speak with their family. But LinkedIn is really a professional tool, a professional networking database or tool that is very, very in use in the business world. Of course, I would say the more online, the more technical the industry is, the more it will be present and active on LinkedIn. But even for non-typical high-tech industries, today they also are on LinkedIn and are using LinkedIn for their own use and for their networking and as part of their business tools. So, for example, a traditional online marketing company, for example, yes, they will be, of course, on LinkedIn. They will look for clients on LinkedIn. If you are a startup company, a high-tech company, you will use LinkedIn, you will be on LinkedIn. But in the past, for example, if I was a lawyer, an architect, maybe I said to myself, why do I need LinkedIn? Or who is on LinkedIn for me? But today, basically, everyone is on LinkedIn. Okay, so as long as, it doesn't matter if you are someone who is looking for a job, a student, if you're working at a company as an employee, if you are what's called like a corporate level, meaning that you're a manager in the company, or if you have your own business, you want to start your own business, you're a service provider, you should be on LinkedIn. That's why we said that you should, all of you should have their own LinkedIn profile as a person, first of all, under your name, like you have a Facebook profile under your name. LinkedIn, it shouldn't be under fake ID or fake name. It should be like your own profile. It's basically your type of, I would say, professional homepage. Meaning, like when someone will look for your name on Google, then one of the first results, if not the first one, will usually be LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is such a big website, such a trusted source in the industry, then it's a great place to showcase yourself. And I would say most of people, the most common use for LinkedIn for general population would be as an online type of CV. So this is where like really CV, curriculum vitae, where you can put really a little bit of a profile of your professional experience, your professional life. What do you do? How can people contact you? Where have you studied? Where have you worked before? What are you looking for right now, etc. So this is the place to be. And step one is, of course, to have your own personal profile. Step two is to have your corporate or your company profile. So like on Facebook, you have a personal page or profile, and you have a Facebook business page. Same thing also on LinkedIn. You can have your personal profile under your name on LinkedIn, and you can have also a company page on LinkedIn. So let me give you an example. Let's say that my name is Jeremy, so I can have my profile Jeremy Reichner on LinkedIn, but I can also have, let's say, Jeremy Ltd, and I can work and be the founder and CEO of Jeremy Ltd. So I can create, like I can create on Facebook, I can create a LinkedIn page for my business under which I would be the first or the employee of my own company, but I could also theoretically add future employees under my umbrella of my company, so they can also list themselves as working under the same name of the same brand or the same company. So this is one option, is to have your LinkedIn company page. That's free and that's not complicated. If you want, I can show you where to find it.
The personal profile?
Yes, I'll show you in a second how you can do it yourself. So you don't have to look for it. It's quite easy. Now I'm logging in to my LinkedIn. Obviously, like on Facebook, I'll see like my feed. I will have a menu to different options. Here we go. You can already see that beside the timeline and the place to put your post, let's look a little bit again for 2 minutes on the design of the LinkedIn feed, like you are all familiar with the Facebook feed. I touched on it before when we talked about LinkedIn, but it was a long time ago, so let's touch base so we can see and then touch and go directly to the ads part. So here on the main frame is the feed, like on Facebook. I will see feed of people that I'm connected to on LinkedIn. That's how you call it, connections on LinkedIn. I have the option to create a post. Post can be text, image and video. On the left side, I have a little bit of a preview of my profile, my personal profile. How many people have seen my profile in this week? And you can already see just below that, I have statistics basically for my business page. So my company is called Business Online Ltd. So I have a page for it. And like on Facebook, I would see stats for my Facebook business page, or I can see stats for my LinkedIn business page. And if you see, because we're talking today about ads, then this on the top, this sentence, you can see here subtly is written in gray, ad. So this line here is an ad. It's a text ad. It's one sentence with a link basically that I can click on it, okay? But it's an ad. Why? How do I know it? Because it says that. And another place where I will find ads, like on Facebook, will be on the right side, on the right column. As you can see here, it says promoted. That's how I know those are ads. So this is the second place for ads, second placements. Like on the right column on the Facebook feed, we can have a little image, a headline, and a description. And the third place where you'll find the ads would be inside the timeline. So if I go and scroll my timeline, let's see, an ad, it's loading. Here we go. You can see here, Vimeo is now hiring in Israel, and you can see the little here gray part where it says promoted. So you can see it's an ad. Interestingly enough, companies are paying to show other people like us that they want to hire. So it's a great place if you're looking for a job. LinkedIn is a great place. They will look for you. They will send you offers. Not only can you look for a job, but even they can contact you or they can advertise jobs to you. So they make it really easy for you. I'll show you. That's why we're here.
Is it the same as Facebook, the rights ads are not as useful as?
Yes and no. Very good question. Yes, on the mobile you won't see those placements on the right feed. Like also on Facebook, they don't exist on the mobile, on in desktop. And it's a great question. We know on Facebook it is less effective because the click-through rate, the CTR, is lower and less people click on it. On Facebook, a lot of people don't even see it, they don't notice it anymore. Their eye is already neutral to it. Good to see you. But on LinkedIn, because of a few reasons I'll mention, it's still effective. Why? First of all, on LinkedIn, most people are looking at LinkedIn on their desktop, on their computer, not on their phone. They do it at work. It's a business platform, so they do it as part of their work. So they do it from their computer, the laptop. Therefore, they will see it. And also because it's a business platform, they are more curious and more open-minded to finding services, opportunity that would advance their business, that would be relevant to them. So they are much more attention, and they give much more attention to what's going on everywhere. So it is still a good place to advertise. I wouldn't completely neglect it. So yes, it is different than Facebook, and yes, it is worthwhile to consider on LinkedIn. Now, regarding the question of how to open your LinkedIn business page, then you would go here. If I go on the top of the LinkedIn menu, I'll see the menu with different icons, okay? If I go to work, okay, so there is me, there is work. So me would be everything related to my own settings and my own personal profile. You can see because I already have a business page, I can manage my company here because it already exists. But beside this, if I go to this category, the work category on the right side, it will open me a lot of options related to work. Let's move it so you can see it. And here I will see the button, create a company page. So on the bottom, on the right side, it will have create a company page. It's free and it's definitely recommended to try, open, play with yourself. And because we're already here, let's look at the other options. So LinkedIn, as you might know or not know, was bought something like 2 years ago by who? No. Who owns LinkedIn today? Who knows? Microsoft. Microsoft bought a lot of companies. They are trying. They have a lot of money, so they can afford to buy a lot of companies, and they want to compete and get back into the game and control of the industry, because they saw that Google and Amazon were really moving forward and taking a big chunk of the market, new services, so they had to fight back. And so they decided to look for strategic opportunities to grow bigger. And this reminds me, and I use this opportunity, if you go in the resources of the weeks, you'll see there was a link to a book, The Big Four, about the story about what is specific, what is special about Amazon, Google, Facebook. And so definitely I recommend Apple. I definitely recommend that you read the book or listen to the book. I gave you links where you can access it for free, because there is like a free option for, I think, 60 days to read the book or listen to the book for free. It's a great book. You learn a lot from it, a lot about their business model, about everything we talked about: marketing, business psychology, their business model, the future, how to disrupt the industry. Is really a lot of good insights from there. So have a look and go for it. Especially it's free, to only take you a few hours. You'll really enjoy it. Okay. You need to sign up, yeah. Yeah. You can cancel whenever you want. There's a button to cancel everywhere. And even afterwards, it's only like maybe $8 per month if you want to continue. So it's really cheap for what you get. So let's go back to the menu here on LinkedIn. You can see when I clicked on the work button, it opens me additional services. So I said that Microsoft acquired LinkedIn. And also there's another company here, this icon called SlideShare. SlideShare was also another company that LinkedIn bought it, and then Microsoft bought it together with LinkedIn. SlideShare is a service that allows companies to share presentations, slideshows. So if you go to a conference and you will see a presentation in the conference, and the guys from the conference, they want to share their presentation with the world, then SlideShare will be a very easy way to do it. Of course, you can do it with Google Drive, Google Slides as well, but SlideShare was the market leader for sharing slides of presentation with others. So this is SlideShare. Now, let's go back on the top. LinkedIn also created a learning section where they will offer you online courses to give you some background about different types of useful skills related to digital marketing, like content creation, like advertising, etc. Some of it is free, so if you are open to it, if you want to learn some new skills, you can always have a look at the learning side of LinkedIn. Then you have the insights, similar to Facebook Insights, where you can get some statistics about what's going on, the activity of different people and industries on LinkedIn. Then a big part of LinkedIn is around jobs. Okay, so I would say LinkedIn is one of the biggest HR platforms or job placement platforms today, especially on the higher level jobs and high paying jobs. So it's a lot of headhunters are looking for people to hire them and to steal them sometimes from the competition using LinkedIn. I think I shared with you, me myself, I've been approached many times by headhunters over the years that propose me jobs over LinkedIn. So you can also post a job if you're looking for someone. You have, similar to Facebook, you have groups. So LinkedIn also trying to compete with the group section of Facebook, but once again, more professional. So you can create groups, you can join groups. Groups are basically placed like a feed around one topic of a discussion where people can talk to each other and post content. You have also a salary section where they will basically give you some industry information about what is the expected salary for different jobs in different industries. And you have also this button for advertise, which will be the focus of our discussion today. So LinkedIn ads. Okay. All of this was just to show you where you can find the option to create a company page using the work section here and going to the bottom, create a company page, and also to see where are the ads placements on LinkedIn. So here on the right side, on the top, as well as in the feed. So, and so surely we will see there's more options that we will dive into it right now. So right now, let's go a little bit deeper into this. So here on the LinkedIn page, LinkedIn tells us once again that it's a very big professional network. About 610 million active professionals are on LinkedIn. And if on Facebook, the main targeting options are related to the behavior and the demographics of people, then here on LinkedIn, the main targeting options is related to the professional background, the professional activities of those people that you want to target. That's why that you can target them based on their job title, based on their function, industry, as well as more options that we'll see very soon. Once again, similar to Facebook, LinkedIn tells you that you can choose different goals for your campaigns. You can choose a lead campaign, a brand awareness campaign, event registrations, and also regarding the budget or the cost or the spending method, you will see that it will be very similar to what you know on Facebook and Google, meaning that you will have the option to choose between two pricing models. Okay? Basically, you'll have the option to choose between CPM, that you already know, which is the model on Facebook, and CPC, which is the model on Google Ads, as we saw last week. So LinkedIn will let you choose if you prefer to pay on a CPM rate or a CPC rate. Now, I'm already telling you, without going into numbers, that LinkedIn is more expensive than Facebook and Google because it's a professional platform, because it's considered to be a B2B platform, meaning that it is targeting businesses. Okay, so there's a lot of competition from other bigger companies that are trying to sell their services or products to other corporations, and they can afford to spend much more per click or per 1,000 views because it is worth for them. Because instead of selling dog food for $20 on average, they can sell a $20,000 license to software or a $1 million low service or whatever. So the prices, the average worth of a click, of a lead, of a customer acquired on LinkedIn is much higher, obviously, than on Facebook, because we're not talking about, most of the time, we're not talking about retail. We're not talking about selling a private product to one person. We're talking about selling a product or service to a company or to a group of employees under one company. Okay? I close the door so we'll have less noise. Okay. So briefly here, we can see an overview of how ads would look and where we can put them. Like I showed you before, it's very similar to Facebook. So if you know Facebook, you will see and you'll be familiar with that. You have the ad in the news feed, in the main news feed on the computer. You have the same type of ad in the news feed on the mobile phone. You have also an option which doesn't, basically it also exists in Facebook, but differently, of sending an ad or pushing an ad inside the messaging section of LinkedIn. So similar to Facebook, Facebook has Facebook Messenger, where you can send messages, text messages to each other. LinkedIn also has the messaging option, messaging platform. It's very much in use between businesses, especially when you want to start a conversation with someone you don't know or someone you met at a conference. So you would look for him on LinkedIn, or you would look for him on Google. You will find his LinkedIn profile. If you're a business person, usually the first point of contact between you and the potential client or lead would be through LinkedIn. So you'll find him on LinkedIn, you will send him a connection request on LinkedIn, and once you're connected, because usually you need to be connected to send a message, you'll be able to send him messages like some. It used to be like really messages more like an email platform. Today is more like a chat platform. So today is really more like a short chat messages that you can send through LinkedIn. And basically, like on Facebook Messenger, you have the option to push your ad within the other options of the LinkedIn messages. As you can see here, a preview. So if you have a box full of messages, I can show you how it looks in my Messenger box. So I go to messaging. I will see all my inbox with all the messages, and you'll see an ad from LinkedIn itself. It's a LinkedIn offer straight into my inbox. You can see there are ads. This is one ad, LinkedIn offer. And you'll see here another ad that says sponsored. That's how you can recognize. It looks like another message in my inbox from a person with a picture, with their name. It's not from a company, it's from a person. But it's basically a company behind it. It's an ad, okay? It's an ad, it says sponsored. So you as well, you can push this type of ad directly also inside LinkedIn. Back to the ads. So I showed you the LinkedIn inbox. Then you have this option, which I showed you on the right side of the computer, which is only available on the computer, where you have a little small image. You can see here it says headline, description, and a 50 by 50 image. So the space is really small. It's pretty crowded. And if you look at your own LinkedIn feed, or you spend a few minutes by going to LinkedIn, you will see that most of the ads that you will see are not for Coca-Cola or for random consumer goods or consumer product, are more for, like I said, business services that also cost more. Here you can see what I mentioned, that like on other platforms, basically regarding the financial of LinkedIn ads, you're bidding for your target audience on an auction basis, meaning that the price will be based on the supply and demand, on what other people and how many people or how many companies want to advertise to the same audience at the same time. And of course, some geographics or some targeting will be more expensive than others. So obviously, if you want to target people in India, it will be cheaper than targeting the same category in America. And that you can choose the payment method. If you want to get paid or pay by CPC or by CPM, cost per click, or cost per 1,000 impressions. There is also the option to make this, it says sponsored email, okay? And then basically you have to pay per message. And the email is a exclusive feature of LinkedIn. It's like basically pushing some type of an email marketing campaign. So LinkedIn is sending emails to their subscribers with what's going on their LinkedIn, with updates. And you can choose to be featured as part of the emails that LinkedIn sends to their users, and basically have some type of a banner advertising or text advertising within the email that LinkedIn is sending to their subscribers, and then you would pay per delivered message. And of course, like on any other platform, you have full control over the budget that you want to spend, how much you're willing to pay per click or per CPM, and the schedule, as well as starting and stopping the campaigns. So this is like a very brief overview. Now let's try and go a little bit deeper into it. So LinkedIn has, like I said, a lot of decision makers, a lot of high high-value people. That's why also they are more costlier than other platforms. And I showed you that you have different types of ads. It's a self-serving platform, same to Facebook, where you have a campaign manager, where you can see the statistics of your campaign. You can choose the objective of your campaign, we'll see it and go straight to it. So let me go. I'm skipping a part of it because you will always see it yourself. Video ad, yes, we know that. Okay. Yeah, I want just to go step by step by how to create set up a campaign on LinkedIn. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is to connect or to register your LinkedIn ad account. So if you don't have a LinkedIn ad account, similar to Facebook, you'll have to put your account name, whether it's under your company name or under your personal name, or connect to an existing company that already has an account if you get their permission, and you'll have to choose the currency, similar like on Facebook and Google. Then, once again, similar to the workflow or any other platform, you'll have to decide what type of ad or of campaign you want to do. And here you can see they are offering 3 type of options. Okay. You have what they call sponsored content, text ads, and sponsored email. Okay. So sponsored content, what they mean by it is what they see in the newsfeed. Okay. So videos, articles, an image with text around it in the middle of the newsfeed is the sponsored content. Okay. This is the thing that will catch the biggest part of the screen or the most attention usually. A second type is the text ad. By text ad, what they mean on LinkedIn is the ads on the right side, right column. So once again, it's only available mostly on the computer. And thirdly is the sponsored email. So it's, like I said, it's advertising within the emails that LinkedIn is sending to their users. After you've chosen the type of ad you want to do, you have to choose the target audience. So you want to decide what is the target audience. You want to decide also where you want to send the people, like similar to Facebook. You can decide if you want to send them to your website or landing page on your website, or you can collect leads. You can see here it's small, but you can see it directly through a LinkedIn lead generation form, similar to the one that Facebook is offering. So directly on LinkedIn. So people can click on your ad on LinkedIn, a form will pop up, they can leave the information that you want from them, name, email address, whatever, or you can ask a question or two, and this is a way of collecting leads through LinkedIn. I know a lot of companies that have done it. If you're a B2B company, it can work quite well, so it's definitely worth a try. You work in a B2B company, so if they didn't try it yet, it's a good thing to try. Why not? I'll say something else regarding trying ads campaign in general. You know already, that's why we also tried Facebook, or you should have tried the Facebook ads campaign so far, because that's how you learn the best, by trying. And some options only open up also by having your first test campaign running, especially like we said about the pixels and everything related to it. But also, most of those services, actually Facebook is usually the one that is the exclusion to this rule, but Google and LinkedIn, if you go around and you go inside those places, Google Ads and LinkedIn Ads, you will see starting popping up everywhere a coupon. So they will offer you a coupon where you can try. So Google offers in Israel, if you're in Israel, a 300 shekels coupon to try Google Ads. Of course, there's like terms and conditions. It's not like automatic bingo that you can get 300 shekels in cash? No, but I don't remember the rules by heart, but on Google, if you spend, for example, 200 shekels, then they will give you back 100 shekels. If you spend 400 shekels, they will give you back 200 shekels. So basically, they will give you 300 shekels out of the first hundreds of shekels that you will spend on Google Ads. And on LinkedIn, you will get a $50 coupon for spending your first $50 on LinkedIn. So go look for this coupon of LinkedIn, $50 to try LinkedIn ads. Okay, so creating the ad, once again, step by step, not very complicated. You chose the destination. Then you simply have to choose the image. If it's like a small ad on the right side, or in general, you have the image, you have the headline, you have the copy or the text of the ad. If it's on the right side, then you're very limited to how many characters you can use. It says 25 characters for the headline, 75 characters for the description. And of course, like on Facebook, it will show you a preview of how your ad will look to the end consumer. Then you have step 4, you have to choose the targeting for your ad. So here comes the interesting part of LinkedIn and what makes it so special compared to the other ones. And let's see what type of categories can I choose to target my audience on LinkedIn. Okay. So one by one, we can choose by company name. So I can choose I want to target only people who work at Nike. Okay. I can choose company industry. I only want to target people who work in the law industry. I can target by company size. Maybe my service is only relevant to people who work in companies that are 1,000 employees or more. Or the contrary, maybe my service or product is for SMBs, companies whose size is maximum 20 employees. So you have those targeting options. And you can, of course, connect and use some of them together, like on Facebook. Okay? So you can choose to target the industry with the company size, with the location, with the job function, etc. So you have the job title, CEO, CMO, director of sales, whatever. Job function. Job function is like basically what is the profession. Is it a degree? Is it a lawyer? Is it an architect? Is it a programmer? This will be the job function. So it's different than the job title. The job seniority, once again, in the pyramid level, especially in the big companies, you have different levels of management. They call it the C-level. This is the highest level of the management. If you went to business school, you might remember it. So C-level is because it's CEO, COO, CMO, CFO, all those C's. Okay? Stands for chief or chairman, depending on how you look at it. So it's the highest level. And then you have, medium level management, low level management, depending on the size of the companies. You can also choose to target basically regarding the education of those people that you want to target, the schools where they went to, they went to Harvard, they went to a college in London, or whatever you want, fields of study, degrees, they have a BA or MA or PhD, the skills that they have, because everyone in their personal profile, they can choose what type of skills they have. They learn the programming language, they can add it as a skill. You learned HTML, you can add it as a skill. You learned Ruby, PHP, you can add it as those skills that you have. You can also target based on the groups that people are members of. So I said you have LinkedIn groups, like Facebook groups. So you can target using that. You can target using the genders, the age, years of experience, how many followers the company has itself. So it wouldn't be my first choice, but it does exist. So we talked about it, that you can have a company page, so you can target even based on how many followers those companies have, as well as how many connections the company has in total. So connections would be like how many people are connected to other people that are working at the company. So connection is like friends on Facebook. This is what it means, connections. Followers is people who have liked, who are following the content of a page, of a company page. Like on Facebook as well. If I'm your friend, then you have, or we have friended each other on Facebook, right? Then it's a connection. Like we can send each other personal messages on LinkedIn or on Facebook. If I'm a follower, it doesn't mean I'm a connection or I'm a friend. I can be a follower on your Facebook page without being your friend on your personal Facebook. Or I can be a follower on your business page on LinkedIn without being a connection to you on LinkedIn. So regarding the cost, like I said, we have cost per click, CPC, cost per impression, CPM, and cost per send for the sponsored email ads, which are type of email marketing advertising. Okay. Regarding how it looks on the interface, similar to Facebook, you have the option to add conversion tracking. So it's a type of a pixel that will track how many people have come to your website and what did they do on your website. If you want to track how many leads came from or sales came from LinkedIn, you will have to install their own pixel. Like you already know, every platform has its own pixel. By the way, I will add something. If you have multiple pixels, because if you work in a serious big company, or you want to be serious and work in a professional way, or you're more technical minded, or you have technical persons in your company, then there is something called, we talked about Google Analytics. Okay? In Google Analytics, or part of the Google products, you have something called Google Tag Manager. Write it down, Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager is a tool, it's free, okay? Free for the basic use for most of us, that allows basically to manage all the type of pixels from one central point. So instead of having to go to the website and manually install every time all the coding of the pixels of Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, etc., I can install one code, only the code of Google Tag Manager, installing Google Tag Manager on your website. Once you have done it, once you have installed Google Tag Manager on your website, then you can go to Google Tag Manager and you can add from there the pixels code of LinkedIn, Facebook, all other type of codes, custom thing that you can add to your website throughout Google Tag Manager. You can think about it of Google Tag Manager giving you like a window, like an access within your website without needing to go to the website every time. So it's a type of intelligent code that allows you to have access and play around with your website coding for the tracking issues without going and doing it manually every time for every platform. So this is the Google Tag Manager. Back to here, so we have the choosing the bid type. Now, if you're asking me, okay, fine, you have CPC, you have CPM. Now, how do I know which one to choose? How do I know which one is the right one for my campaign? So the answer would be, it depends. If I want to focus on maximum brand awareness, maximum reach, reaching the maximum amount of people, I would go for CPM. Because I want to reach a maximum amount of people, the people that I've chosen. I'm new. I want people to read about me, to read about my article, or to learn about my product. However, if I want to go for leads or go for someone to sign up, someone to buy a product, I would rather go for clicks, because I don't need quantity, I want quality. I don't want people to know that I exist. I want people to do something with that. And obviously, as part of a life cycle of a company or product or service, you will eventually want or need to go for both of those types of bidding. So the early cycle, the beginning, you might start with CPM, but then you will want to move into CPC. And every time you have a new offer or product, you can go back to CPM, back to CPC. You can also test the two and see which one might work best for you, because at the end, you won't know until you try, and every campaign is different to the other. You can decide the limit of your budget, so you can limit your daily budget like on all the other platforms. Take into account that, as it says here, your campaign actual daily spend may be up to 20% higher. Because sometimes it takes a few seconds or minutes for campaigns to start and to close, or for the Google machine or LinkedIn machine in this case to stop your campaign from appearing everywhere in the world, then things can happen. And that's why they say, as a general rule, they don't want to get sued, especially if we're talking about higher budget or higher reach, higher volumes, then it goes very fast. So that's why they have to put a legal disclaimer that they tell you that it might be up to 20% higher, meaning that if you put a limit of $100 per day, you can be charged up to $120. But if you would be charged $150, then you can either sue them or they will refund you the difference if there would be a problem with that. So, but take it into account. So if you don't want or you cannot afford to spend more than $100, then put a maximum daily budget of $80 just to be on the safe side. So you have a security margin of 20%. Also, have a look. It says also that you have a minimum budget of $10.
Minimum daily?
Yeah, minimum daily budget of $10 per day. So I mentioned that on Facebook you can try even for $5 per day, but on LinkedIn the minimum budget is $10 per day. And also you can see they will suggest a bidding price or a bidding range. Okay? Here in this example, this picture is in Canadian dollars, but it will be in the currency of your choice that you have chosen. So they will tell you according to the audience that you have chosen. So if it's Americans, Indians, followers of a company, employees of a company, whatever you have chosen as targeting, the price is based on supply and demand, on what others are bidding in the auction right now. So they will give you a range that you should be somewhere inside it. If you want to be top, if you want to be sure that you'll be featured and outbid your competition, then you will want to go with the maximum or the highest range possible. If you want to save as much money as possible and you don't care how much you actually appear and where you appear, and let your competition be ahead of you, then you can try and bid the minimum bids or the minimum of the range. Take into account, once again, there's a minimum bid sometimes for some categories. Like in this image here, it shows that the minimum bid would be $2. So if it's like a CPC, cost per click, so to be the minimum of $2 per click. Doesn't mean that for you to be higher or lower, it just means that for this case it was $2 per click. So don't take it as a golden rule. You have to try yourself, build an audience, get to this page, then you will see your number. So even if you don't want to spend, you only want to learn, you want to try and see how much it would cost you, then prepare a test campaign, get to this stage and see the numbers that they are offering you, and then you will know exactly how much it would cost you. Same as on the other platforms, you have advanced options regarding also the date, when the campaign is starting, when it will end automatically or manually, total budget, and how many times do you want the ad rotation. You know, if you remember it from Facebook, ad rotation is how many times do you want the same people to see your ad, or how often. Okay. So, for example, if you only want them to see, each person can only see it one time, then you can choose that. However, if you've been through the course, you know that to be effective, one time won't be enough. So if you want them to notice you, if you want them to click on your ad and take action, take notice of it, you will need them to see your ad at least 5, 10, sometimes even 20 times before something happens. So I wouldn't recommend to block it and limit it to 1 or 2 times. There is no point of it. I would rather show my ad, especially if I want to get action, if I want to get clicks, if I want to get leads, I would rather, for the same amount of dollars, for $100, I would rather show my ad to 100 people but get 10 leads out of them than to 1,000 people but get 2 leads out of them. So quantity usually is less important than quality, unless, once again, unless I want to make a PR campaign, a brand awareness campaign where no one knows me, and I want to get the word out there, get noisy, get people to recognize me, so or people talking about sharing a subject I'm talking about, so I would go for maximum reach and going for the CPM model. Okay, so after all of this, at the end, you will end up with a dashboard similar to the ones you have from other platforms, which will show you the result of your campaigns. So like all the rest, you will see impressions, you will see clicks, you'll see what we call Facebook engagement or LinkedIn social actions. So it has another name, but it means the same. Because also on LinkedIn, you can like, you can give a thumbs up to someone, to the ad of someone, you can share, okay, so you can comment. All those interactions similar to on Facebook, to the Facebook feed, will also be measured here as social actions on your LinkedIn ads. You can see your ad spend, you can see how many clicks you had, you can see all the performance metrics like I would see it on Facebook, very similar. Let's go briefly through best practices regarding LinkedIn ads. Okay, so sponsored content. Remember, sponsored content is what? Where do I see sponsored content on LinkedIn? What does it mean? In the middle, in the feed. In the feed. Sponsored content is the one in the feed, post in the feeds. So, first recommendation, use a custom or at least non-stock looking images. Meaning, don't use the same image that everyone else is using. Don't use a very random, classic, boring image. If you want people to notice you, you want people to remember you, try to create your own picture or your own video if you're using video, or at least something more original or changing something. Most of the companies, a lot of time they will, you know what is like a stock image? Stock image is from those companies that you have those index websites where you can either take a picture for free, generic images, or you can buy the rights to use an image or a photo. And then what happens is that a lot of time you will see the same people advertising different products because they buy the rights for the image. You'll see the same blonde guy or blonde girl across all the ads. And you know, people are already tired, they know those tricks. It doesn't work as well. So invest, take the time to make your own ads from scratch and should have better results. Number two, although it's not written here, but I would say like on Facebook, like everywhere else today in 2019, video performs better than images on LinkedIn as well. So I would rather have a video ad of sponsored content than a random image. Although, with that said, still you will see more image ads on LinkedIn and on Facebook, because on Facebook, people have already more adopted videos, and on LinkedIn, videos is still more rare, less used. But it's only, I would say, an advantage for you. So you will stand out much more if you have a video on LinkedIn. Unless the video doesn't show well what you want to showcase, what you want to focus on. For example, let's say that you want to focus on a big promo, big discount that you're offering your customers or your potential customers. Let's say you're offering $50 free coupon or 50% special discount for 3 days. In that case, because the focus is on number, and I want people to notice this, an image might do a better job of a video because it's static. You can put good colors, you can put a big number over it, and it might be more effective. And you'll see it also on LinkedIn. If you go through LinkedIn before you make your first ad, always look at what the competition is doing, okay? Especially the successful competition, the big guys. So go through LinkedIn, or go follow other companies, so maybe you'll be seeing their ads and try to learn from it, try to see what they do and copy it. What we call in advertising language copycat strategies. If you do it from the good guys, from successful campaigns, it is worthwhile. It's okay. It's fine. You can't invent the wheel all the times. You might as well be less creative but more effective regarding the ad strategies.
Remy?
Yeah.
What's a good amount of time for video? Post on the link and
Usually shorter is better.
Okay.
So 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds.
So 30 seconds is too
Um,
long?
it's fine. I've seen also 2-minute videos.
Okay.
So you can try. No, it's different. That's why, because first of all, on Instagram you have the limitations of the platform. For example, as you already know, on Facebook and also on Instagram, especially on Instagram, because you control the Instagram ads from the Facebook platform, Facebook will tell you that if you want your ads, your video ad to be featured on Instagram, especially Instagram stories, it needs to be limited to, for example, 15 seconds for one ad, because one story is 15 seconds only. Today, they allow you to have basically 4 stories, one after the other. So you could do an ad of up to 1 minute of a vertical video inside the Instagram ads. But LinkedIn doesn't have stories yet, so it's still the square model, and there is no really limitation of 30 seconds or 1 minute. So you can make longer videos, but because business people are also busy, and they don't have lots of patience of time to waste on videos, then I would suggest to keep it short.
In terms of like, let's say, timeline, when is the best I would say more people going on?
Good question. So it depends on the people on the platform and the geolocation. If you're targeting business people that are sitting in their office, okay, so usually that would be the case for LinkedIn, then we know, and I think I mentioned it on Facebook as well, that those type of people, they would check their LinkedIn account. It was mentioned in the beginning, you'll find it in the resources of week, I think 2 or 3. Usually it will be either in the first hour of the day, when they come to work, just after lunchtime, or toward like the last hour of the day. But usually it would be first hour of the day or just after lunch. That's when they will check their messages, or they want to see what's going on in their industry or with their friend. They'll log into their LinkedIn account. That's when you can catch them. But at the end, it doesn't matter so much. Why? Because you want to put your ad in front of the people that you choose. Okay? So you chose your targeting. And like I said, the same thing on Facebook. At the end, your ad cannot be shown if your audience is not there. It's not live. So if they're not logging in, you can't show your ad to someone who is not on LinkedIn. Therefore, you won't be also paying for the people that don't show up. So you can use it if you have a very broad audience and you're scared that you will show your ad to people who are not the right people, then I would say work better on the targeting. It doesn't have to be, the answer doesn't have to be the time limitation. Also, I would rather leave it open and leave it to the client, to the audience, to decide when it's better for them to log in and then show the ads. If someone is logging in when it's midnight, his local time, because that's when he wants to log in on LinkedIn, then let him be. I don't mind. Okay, let's continue. So, a general thing that you should keep as best practice, it's true for LinkedIn, it's true everywhere, and it's that you want to what's called like add a custom tracking code to measure the site visits or the conversions from your campaign. Now, this will be done more or less automatically in different ways. One, because if you have Google Analytics will show you how many people have come from LinkedIn or from Facebook. So you know the channels. This is one. 2, if you're using, let's say, LinkedIn ads, LinkedIn will show you how many clicks you had on your ad to your website. 3, if you're using a pixel, you'll have even more information, knowing also what type of pages those people visit on your website, or how many of them actually sign up. With that said, sometimes it might be better if you have the option to basically create a custom URL for every campaign, for every platform. What does it mean? If you don't know what it is, there are different ways to create it. You can do it manually. You can do it through Google Analytics. You can Google it and you will see how to do it. Basically, the idea behind it is very simple. Let's say my website is dogfood.com, okay? And they all go to the homepage of dogfood.com. So if I want to know which ad works better, or which platform works better, I could put a unique URL to every ad. For example, LinkedIn will be dogfood.com/LinkedIn. The customer will land on the same page, but I will know how many people, what people landed on this URL. Because, for example, Google Analytics will show me. Same thing within LinkedIn. Let's say I'm making LinkedIn ads and I have different types of ads, different images. I can change the URL. I can make, for what this image, for the image of dog, it will be dogfood.com/LinkedIn/dog. It's like dog image, or it's like dog image 1. The more ads you have, the more specifics you want to get into. Versus the cat image, well, I'll make the URL dogfood.com/LinkedIn/cat. So this is the custom URL. Allows you to have a deeper level of analytics and tracking and A/B testing, something I mentioned in the past. Thirdly, keep the copy under 150 characters. 2 reasons. One is that you're limited in how many text you can put. And thirdly, also because if it's too long, either LinkedIn won't show it and they will have to click to expand the text and see the full text. Same thing on Facebook. And also people, once again, they don't have patience. If they're already interested and they have patience, I would rather for them to click and go to my website and see the full information on my website, because then I have conversion, I have my pixel working, I can then go back to them and retarget them. I can maybe convert them into a lead by having a little box where they can leave their email on my website. So I have much more option, much more control. So I would rather have a short message with a call to action telling them click or go or sign up to something. You want to keep it short, straight, with one call to action, like we learned on other ads.
How do you measure conversion?
How do you measure conversion? Depending on your goal. If I want to make a campaign that is focused on visit to my website, my conversion will be visits to my website. How many visits did I get? Every visit will be a conversion. If you want to have leads, then every lead will be a conversion. If it's a sale, then a sale. On LinkedIn, usually it won't be sales because I mentioned it's B2B services or products or higher price products. They don't buy or sell the product usually directly. So usually the funnel will be that they will go to a landing page and there they will sign up for people to contact them back for a free demo, for a free coupon, a free trial, a free ebook, a webinar, whatever. Those will be usually the most common option that you'll find under a LinkedIn campaign. You want them to give out their information, do something so that you can then use it in your advantage next time. Even more because LinkedIn is expensive. So you want to get something in return as fast and as much as possible. Something that you can use, like an email address, like a phone number or something. Okay. Stay focused on the people interacting with you the most. So it means, like on other platforms, you want to put your money where the attention is. So if someone already has shown some interest in your product or service, by reading your article, by visiting your website, by following your page, and he's a great, or he has a higher potential than just someone random who has never heard of you. So it's always better to spend your money on him, on someone who already shown has his initial interest, than someone completely new. Of course, if you're starting from scratch, you have no one that has shown interaction or interest in you, you will have first to invest and spend to get this. Okay, so you have to create awareness and start spreading your message to get interactions and people interested. Text ads. Text ads, once again, are the ones on the right side of the LinkedIn platform. So the images there are very small. It's only 50 by 50. So you want to try, once again, let's see it here. Go back to the main feed. By the way, this ad is a job ad. Get is hiring. You can see ad. So as you can see, sometimes you don't see the small text ads, you see a job ad. Let's refresh. Here we go. So you can see two ads, two B2B services, B2B products. The image is very important. You'll see they are using strong colors, not white or black or very simple standard color. They're trying to stand out. The image is square, it's very small. So try to use strong colors. Try to use good headlines, attractive headlines, turning their attention. Or here they're asking something. You see there's a question mark. SEO specialist question mark. Marketing designer question mark. They're trying to catch attention and gamble on am I the right person for them? Maybe they have something interesting for me. Okay? You can see also they used emojis. I mentioned that also on Facebook ads. You can and you should maybe use emojis just because it grabs the eye and the attention of other people, because it stands out, because it has color, because it can be a bit more attractive. Obviously, take into account if it's professional enough for your brand image. So if you're something techie, cool, young, whatever, it might be very good. If you're a lawyer, maybe it's not as professional. Okay, so always think if it's the right. Exactly. Okay, so do use images to attract eyeballs. Include a strong, clear, and specific call to action. Write a headline worth reading. Write from the reader's perspective, not yours, because it's about them, not you. You've showed you they are directly addressing me. They are asking me a question. They are talking to me. Your dream job is closer than you think. Or design campaign that reaches millions, apply now, take chances. They are talking about me. They are asking meetings or offering meetings. They're not talking about them. They're not telling me I'm the best, we are the best, have a look at us, we've been chosen #1. No, we're talking about what I can get from that, what I can win from here, what I can learn. Focus is on myself. Finally, regarding the sponsored email, so because it's personal, you can use added features. Okay? You can, for example, choose to place the recipient's name. So LinkedIn knows that those people have a name, of course. They know it's John Doe. So if you send them an ad by email, you can use the placement of the name, meaning that you can make an ad, dear John, we would like to invite you to test out our product. So you can use the first name, the name of the person, and you can mention it even more than once as is suggested here. Still, with that said, you want to keep it not too long. Okay, so although it's an email, don't go for more than 1,000 characters. State a clear and specific action you want them to take next. This is key everywhere online. Always make it very clear what you want from them and what they should do. And also the subject line on emails is very important. Try to write subject line that is attractive, that will make them curious, and that, for example, offers them stating a problem that you're trying to solve for them. They have a problem, they will want to get it solved, and by mentioning it, you will be doing the right thing. Now, we'll go on a break in a minute. Before going to the break, let's just fill in the attendance. So it's good that you just arrived. So I can add your name as well. Boom, boom, 1 sec. Opa. 1st of July. Okay, so Melissa is not here because she traveled. Oh, here are. I thought you traveled already. Thursday, good. You're here. Okay. I know you already. I don't need your names basically. Okay, so you can go on the break, and after the break, we'll go to Twitter. So I was giving you some general best practices guidelines for ads on LinkedIn. Most of them are quite general and are relevant to every platform in general on advertising online. So are those few lines here that are that I want to briefly go through them. So one is right from the reader's perspective. So I mentioned, people don't care about what you do; they only care about what they can get from what you do. It's all about your client. It's all about their perspective. What can they get from you? What do you offer them? What problem do you solve for them? We talked about it during the first few weeks when we talked about marketing strategy and how to make the right message for the right people, etc. Use the relevant images. We talked about it. Write personalized content. It's obvious that because you can target different people according to their location, to their job title, their function, industry, and everything, your message should also be customized and according to the language, the type of people that you are going for. Like I said, for the example of the emojis can be relevant, attractive, and sexy for one audience and negative for another audience. So think about, make your content personalized for your own audience. Test frequently, which is one of the biggest rules of online marketing, is always about testing. Because everything can be measured, then there is a big advantage in actually using the fact that everything is analyzed and measurable, and you can compare the performance of two different things. Use it in your advantage. Use it in your favor. I know when you have a limited budget, it's difficult to test a lot of different things. But even then, always try to see where you can improve compared to the last time. Change the image, change the color, change the headline. There are so many things you can test and change and switch. And once again, what works best for you will only know after you try and test it out. Budget and bid wisely. So, like I said, it depends on your target. If you want to get results, sometimes you should be willing to pay the maximum or the optimum price for it. Sometimes to be maximum CPC, sometimes to be maximum CPM. You have to be aware of your budget, spread it across the time frame that you want or need. We talked about it that in order to have a first test campaign, it should run for at least 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on your daily budget. But you need to have a minimum quantity of people, of data, in order to get some type of results that allow you to reach a conclusion. And like I said, you can try out a campaign. After 10 days or 2 weeks, you will know if you're in the right direction, what you need to improve, what you need to change. Maybe your headline is wrong. Maybe your targeting is wrong. Maybe the image was not the right image. Maybe the offer was not the right offer. So all of those factors can make the big difference and can make the difference between a winning campaign and a losing campaign. And you will not know most of the time before you try. But of course, who said, you know, being stupid is repeating the same mistake and expecting a different outcome. So try to learn. Yes, idiot. Yeah, Einstein said it. It's a famous quote. So don't be an idiot. Learn from your mistakes. If you learn from your mistakes, then your mistakes were actually valuable. And you can actually save money. If you learn properly using the methods that we talked about, and you know how to test a campaign, how to measure the performance of your campaign, how to compare two different campaigns, then you can really improve and you can save a lot of mistakes and a lot of money that it will cost to yourself or to your company. So be wise and intelligent, don't be stupid. That's, of course, that's mentioning the last point, which is measure to improve your ROI, which is exactly what I talked about. At the end, we want to have a return on our investment. So all of the things that we are doing should lead us to the golden goal of having and making money and making a profit, having a positive return on our investment. But there's no shortcut. It doesn't go from A to Z in 1 second or in one campaign. A lot of times for your product or your service, your clients will need to go through a process, a conversion process. It's called like also sales funnel, warming your audience. It's called, there are a lot of different terms, marketing terms used for that. At the end, we know that most of the times people won't buy, won't do what you want the first time they see it. So you need to optimize every step of the way, and then if you do it properly, you will be able to get the end result that you want, the positive ROI that you want to get out of your campaign. So this was what I wanted to show you about LinkedIn ads. If there is a brief question or two, I can take it now. If not, I'll move to Twitter ads. So, any quick question?
Yeah, I would like to know what's this the site.
Yes, Hootsuite.
Hootsuite, yes.
You remember what is Hootsuite?
Yes. I tried to check login and it says it takes my credit card and I get 4 months fee. It still costs $19 a month and I have to leave a credit card. But what is it good for? I forgot that.
Okay, so back to the basics. So
yeah.
If you remember in the beginning, we said that the two biggest companies that offer like a social media management dashboard is Hootsuite and Buffer. No, so both programs, both services have a free option. By default, when you sign up for both of them, they enroll you, they get you into a free trial of their premium version. So you can try everything for 30 days. And after 30 days, either they want you to pay for it or they will, you'll be stuck. But there's another option for a free plan. I think someone asked it in the beginning when we talked about it, and there is a way to access it. I can show it to you again. Exactly, they're hiding it in the plans. They have free plan, but a lot of time they're hiding it, so you have to look for it. Yeah, it is in the bottom. I think it's, see plans, you don't see it here, but if you click on the page plans, and it will open the plans, you wait for it. See, in the page plans, here you don't see it. But if you go down, you'll see here, trial limited free plan, you see? 3 social profiles, 30 scheduled messages in 1 year. But never mind that. First of all, you can use it if you want to for your own social media platform and messaging across 3 profiles from one place. That's an advantage of Hootsuite and Buffer is that instead of logging into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, blah, 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 you can prepare the post and send them out from one place. Right? This is the advantage of those platforms. That's why you have to pay for it. But all the content, they have a lot of content, like the one I showed you for LinkedIn ads, that is free. So all the content is part of their blog, it's free. The resources are, most of them are free. So you can access them even if you're not using the free plan. Okay? So,
scheduled messages, is that for a month?
Yes.
1 month, okay. Yeah.
No, it's not limited to a month, just limited to at each time you can schedule in advance 30 messages.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what it means.
Right?
Yeah, I mentioned in the past that if you want to take full advantage, then what you can do and save yourself some money is to sign up for the free plan of Hootsuite, as well as the free plan of Buffer, because both have also those limitations of those 3 social profiles at each and X scheduled messages. And then just make sure to use different platforms for those 2 services. For example, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram on Hootsuite, and on Buffer you can put LinkedIn and Facebook business page or another business page. You can every profile is like one profile. So if you have 3 business pages and 1 personal account and 1 LinkedIn account, 1 Instagram account, you cannot fit all of them into those free plans. But if you use 2 free plans across 2 different services, or you create 2 accounts, then you can use the free plan. Okay.
You can practically give me all the opportunities, like checking and posting to my different accounts, like the 3 accounts from Hootsuite.
Yes.
I can use that to post.
Yes.
Like with a professional, just that
Yes.
I'm limited to 3.
Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. Now into Twitter ads.
So I could post to LinkedIn and Facebook at the same time on there.
Yes. You can basically prepare what's called like a social media calendar, where you have like a calendar and you decide, okay, I want to post this content on this date and this content on this date, and here this content should go to this channel and this content across all those channels. So you have full control. You can really play around with it. Yeah, no, it is worth the price if you use it. If you use it, it saves a lot of time and can be practical, especially if you want to prepare content in advance and then automatically schedule it. And this is what it does. It's not a content creation platform, but you can import your content into it. So if you create content using, for example, Canva, remember? So for those images, then you can import those images or those posts inside Hootsuite. So you can write it down somewhere else, or you can write it down directly into Hootsuite, but it's not like a graphical interface to let you play around too much with the content. It's more just about the posting, the calendar. It's also good for what's called like monitoring and messaging, communication. So from the same place, from the same dashboard, not only can you post, but you can also look at what your competition is doing. You can reply to people's messages from one place. So it's like a central dashboard. You can really control everything which is related to using social media from one central platform. This is the whole idea. So Twitter ads. So Twitter advertising at the core, once again, it's very similar to Facebook and LinkedIn. Same methods, same ideas. You can see their dashboard, basically how it looks, how much I've spent, how much impressions. And I can see here on the bottom that I have campaigns, ad groups, ads, and audiences, similar to what you already know from Facebook ads. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into it. So, Twitter ads, similar to LinkedIn ads, you have different types of ads. You have the promoted tweets, like the promoted articles or sponsored content on LinkedIn. So the promoted tweets will be shown, obviously, as a tweet within the timeline of your target audience. It can be on the computer or on the mobile phone. It will look like a tweet, so it will have the same structure. You have the icon of the account. You have the username of the account, the name of the account, the date. You can use hashtags, which is very popular on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You can use images or videos. You can have a URL. You can have a call to action button, and it will be noted as a tweet, as an ad, because it will say promoted. So as you can see, all the platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, not only do they look the same, they also try as much as possible to make their ads seem as part of their content, not to stand out, to be like natural. So they do it very discreetly, right? They don't put like a very big sign, it's an ad. Okay? They have to do it for legal reasons and everything, but they do it as much as discreet as they can. Either there's a little button ad, here it says promoted, here or there, always small and gray, but it does appear somewhere. So if you want to look at it, you can find it. I'm going to go into my Twitter account. I'll be able to find it and see it. Let's have a brief look at my Twitter feed. Second. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. It's loading. Promoted. Yeah. So you can see it's a promoted sign, meaning it's an ad. Okay. Besides promoted tweets, you can also promote your Twitter account. So if you want to gain followers, then you can feature your account. And as it says here, promoted accounts are displayed in potential followers' timelines, as well as in the who to follow suggestions and search results. They include the follow button and are clearly identified as promoted. You can see here an example. And here another example. You can see the subtle little promoted arrow and text, which shows you that it is promoted. By the way, similarly, also on Facebook, you can promote your page to get more followers. Besides the traditional ad, you can also promote your page. If you do it, then the page will pop up in different places on Facebook to help people within a button to click and follow your page. So if you want to gain a number of followers, or if you're starting and you don't want to pay to have 0 followers, you might, if it's important for you to gain followers, you might try and make a follower campaign, a promoted account campaign on Twitter, on Facebook. Then, similar to what we already know, you have the objectives of the campaign that you need to choose. So what can we choose on Twitter? You can go for app installs. If you have an app, obviously, you can directly, when they click on it, they can go to the app store of their phone and download your app. So you can make an app install campaign. You can make a campaign which is centered across building an engaged audience, basically increasing your number of followers. Okay? You can make a campaign to boost a specific tweet for maximum engagement, as it says here. You can promote videos, maximum video views, like on Facebook. Website clicker conversions, like on Facebook. Re-engagement, it's more for apps if you want people to open and use your app. For example, if you have an app and it's a game and they have the credits for the game, then you can put an ad on Twitter, click here to get free, 5 more minutes of play on your game. It works. People, you would be surprised, but one of the most money-making industries online, especially on mobile phones, till today are games. So those small games that might look childish to you, they are really like billion-dollar industries. Okay? So apps, games, apps make a lot of money. I showed you in the beginning of the course that even on Facebook, there is like a Facebook gaming category. Also on YouTube, gaming is a very big category. But even on apps, even if you're playing against yourself, people are willing to spend money to buy more credits or to buy some extra accessories for their game. Real money on games. Even if they cannot win money prizes, they might still spend real money on a game. Yeah, exactly. Like a Candy Crush is one of the most popular games that work very well for that. So it's a game. You buy credits, fake money for real money, and people do it. So it works. If it didn't work, it wouldn't be here featured. So it means there's a demand for it. It works. In-stream video views or pre-roll. So as the video market becomes more and more sophisticated, I mentioned that on video, the biggest video library online is YouTube, right? So YouTube, we said, is part of Google. So you do the YouTube advertising through the Google Ads as well. And YouTube is slowly becoming the television. Is already the television alternative. So like on television, you have different types of ads. And same thing goes for video online. So in the beginning, you had a video ad within the news feed, within the feed itself. Today, it's already more advanced. On all those platforms, you have the ability to push your video inside a video of someone else, either before, during, or after. So you have like a pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll. That's how they call it in the video language. We have here a video editor. So pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll. So yeah, it exists. It's usable, and it can be quite effective and cheap. Because first of all, most of the people or some of the companies, they don't use it. They don't know about it, or they don't know how to use it. It brings me to something else that I have mentioned before, that one of the best so-called growth hacks or ways to outperform your competition is by using the latest features when they launch, or be one of the early adopters in new things. Okay? So if you are one of the first ones, or the first few months, you jump into new options, it might be cheaper and better for you because your competition is not there yet. So for example, pre-roll or in-stream video views, video ads on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc., they can be quite effective because you can target people that are that are already viewing a video that is interested to them. So you already have their attention. They already are watching a video, and then you just put another video in between. So you already grab their attention. They're not scrolling. When they're looking at the video, they cannot scroll and look at the video at the same time. Okay, so normally when you're on any type of a feed, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, people are scrolling most of the time. They're scrolling, whether it's with their finger or their mouth, doesn't matter. They're scrolling down the feed. And you want them to stop. To stop for 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds to notice your ad. It's much easier to grab their attention if they have already stopped. That's why an in-stream video view campaign or video ad campaign can be a good idea to try. Of course, to do that, you need to have a video ad. So you need to create a video. But as you already know, it is doable, and you don't need to be a professional video editor to make your own video ad. There are not enough tools out there that will help you to create a video ad, even if you're not a videographer and you don't know how to do it technically. You can really use those tools. And let's say that you really are incapable, or you don't want to spend the time or energy to build your own video ad, even with an easy do-it-yourself tool, then you always have the option to go to one of the freelancer platforms, like what? Fiverr.com. or freelancer.com or upwork.com and pay someone else to do it for you. And it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. It can be sometimes maybe $10, $20, or $5, depending on what you need and the platform you're choosing. By the way, either next week or in the last lesson, the lesson before that, I will present to you, we will talk about those freelancer platforms, because I want to show you places where you can find either jobs or projects, clients, or freelancers that can help you to deliver on the work that you need. So we'll talk again about those freelancer platforms. Okay. So promoted trends. So Twitter is working on trends, on trending topics. Twitter was the one that invented the hashtag, and although hashtags are used today everywhere, also very strongly on Instagram, the one that invented it was Twitter. Until today, hashtags, as I mentioned during the organic part of how to use Twitter, is very important. So one of the things that people are looking for on Twitter is trending topics. They will also be featured on their feed. There will always be like a trending top list on their Twitter, and you can advertise in there. So if you want a place that is high in demand and people look at it and you're not too crowded by many other ads, you can place your ad here, because then you're not trying to grab their attention within the feed. So one of the bad things about the fact that those companies are trying to hide the fact as much as possible that those are ads is that when you are in your newsfeed and you're scrolling, you might not even notice it's an ad, or you might not even stop at all. While if you're choosing a placement, location that is not the newsfeed, sometimes it's easier to grab the attention of your audience. For example, here on the left column, you can see clearly that when someone looks at it, then you can grab their attention. There's no scrolling here. It's just like a top 3 list. That's it. There's no other way to scroll. If they're here, they're here. Okay. So Twitter has an automated ad option. And what it means is that you can tell Twitter, show my ad across all those different options automatically. You can do it, and you can tell Twitter, take a daily budget and try to make the best out of it. So they can take, for example, tweet that you have and retweet them, or like boost the tweets that can boost Facebook posts. And you can give them like you can see here, a flat rate, okay? So if you want Twitter to basically autopilot or manage automatically your ad campaigns, you need to pay them. It's not free. Correct. Yes, I think for most of us, like if you've already been through a course and you want to manage your ads closely, then I wouldn't suggest it. I think you can do it yourself, and then you'll have more options and more optimization options. Like you already know, like I said, it's like the boost button on Facebook. It's easier, it's faster, but you lose some control and some deeper and advanced options. By the way, it says here that Twitter estimates that accounts using Twitter Promoter Mode will reach an average of 30,000 additional people and gain 30 extra followers per month. Is it worth $100? I don't know. I don't think so, but people try. In general, I want to say something about LinkedIn and Twitter ads. And that's one of the reasons that we were only going through it today in one lesson. We didn't spend more time on that, is that this is not the #1 choice for most of the marketers online, okay, for most of us. Most of us, we are promoting or after the consumers, after selling consumer goods or services. So we're like a mass market. We're trying to go for the cheapest audiences, massive audiences, maybe more easier audiences. We're selling cheaper products, or we're not trying to build like a giant following or giant brand. And therefore, most of the time, our number one shows will be Facebook. Number two, depending on what you offer, Google. And if you're a B2B or you sell a very high value, high priced item or service, LinkedIn. And I will leave Twitter for the last position. Right now in 2019, it might change again. It has quite a negative name regarding the ROI on ads on Twitter this year, but because it has already been like a very bad performance in 2018, so people were saying that Twitter is dead, Twitter is dying, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of time. But Tachlis, we see that in 2019, Twitter is still live. It's actually growing and stronger in 2019 than it was in 2018. Advertisers are coming back to advertise on Twitter. Maybe some people are saying it's all thanks to Donald Trump, because he's doing all the balagan on Twitter, right? And not only him, there are a lot of big influencers, big movie stars, artists that are using Twitter actively. So Twitter is still alive. It has its own vibe. It's not for everyone. It's not for everything. But like anything else, keep it in your mind, and you might want to give it a try at one point or another. Briefly, let's go over how to set up your account. So like anything else, you'll have to put your country, your time zone, your currency, and then you can create your first campaign. You will choose your objective. You will have the options of the following to choose from for the objective of the campaign. You can go for awareness, engagements, followers, website clicks and conversions, app installs, app re-engagements, promoted video views, and in-stream video views. So you already know what they are, and most of them are very similar to what you will see on Facebook. Then you have the option to create ad groups, similar to what you have on Facebook. You can have multiple ad groups under one campaign. You can see here how Twitter explains the options, or the how it is basically built, structured, the structure of a campaign. So on the top level, you have the campaign level, where you can decide on the dates, on the budgets, and on the campaign objective and status, whether it's paused, running, or stopped, finished. Then you have the ad group level. Okay, so ad groups can have their own dates. They can have their independent and own budgets. They can have their own targeting options. They can have their own placement, meaning like where are you going to show the ad within the platform. Okay, and under that you have the creative level, or the ad level on Facebook, where you can have multiple ads, for example, different images, different videos, different headlines, under the same ad group, under the same campaign. So you create your first ad with your first ad group, you give it a name. By default, if not to be given to you, you select the budget. Normally, you will go in the beginning for automatically bidding, because you don't know what is the best bid for you. However, if you go for manual bidding, then like all the other platforms, they will give you a suggested bid based on what others are paying. But I said in the beginning, try with the automatic options. Easier, it's usually also optimized, so you can give it a try. Then once you know how much you paid, you can start playing with it and trying to lower the bid by going for the manual bid and looking at the ranges of the other bids. Then you will choose the placement. Where will the ad on Twitter show? In the user timeline, profile and tweet detail pages, or the search results. Then you will create the creative itself. Then you have to choose the audience. Now, audiences on Twitter are not as advanced as Facebook. Facebook has the best and the most detailed advanced capabilities on audiences that we already know and seen. LinkedIn has an advantage on Facebook on the professional side, on the career side of what do they do, where do they work at, what their work experience, everything related to work. Twitter is a bit more general. You can basically target regarding demographic, meaning gender, age, location, language, and technology, meaning like what device they use. Those are the basic targeting options for your audience on Twitter. Now, with that said, yes, they have more advanced options. It says here, section called audience features allows you to target based on specific user characteristics like events, interests, behaviors, even specific keywords and TV shows users tweet about. So it is possible, but it doesn't mean that you will get the best results with that, because not always the people that you want to target are actually posting content or following content of this type on Twitter. So it's a guesswork, and you need to try and test. Okay, so finally, let's go through some Twitter advertising tips. Number one is, because introduce yourself. People don't know you. You can't expect them to guess. If the first time they see you is in the ad, you might as well explain what you offer. Okay? So here on this ad, it says, light, flexible, machine washable, and powered by recycled water bottles. Okay? So it's a wardrobe game changer. It's not very clear what it is. Is it a jeans? If there's a dog? Yeah, so it's not clear they're selling something related to animals or something related to fashion. It's probably the jeans, I think. Weirdly, I don't know. It's not clear. Okay, so try to make it clear who you are and what you want out of people and what you're offering them. You can take out as much of the guesswork as possible. People don't want to guess. You don't want to waste. Include a clear call to action. You already know that. Okay, you want to tell them, follow us, read more, register, download. Okay, here you have, for example, free guide. Okay, so it says free guide. It says download our free guide. Okay, a few times even. So you can. It's clear what you want, what they want from you. They put it here. Okay, they put it here in the image, download, and they put it also here in free guide. So it's clear what they are offering and what they want from you. If you're running a sale, highlight the percentage discount. Put the number, okay? 20% off, 30% off. Take out the guesswork. On Twitter, there's something called cards. Cards are similar to it's like a pop-up, like a little bit like a lead form, or like something that when they click on it, it will show more information about your product or about your service, or a little form. So you can add cards. Then it's like a preview of what you're offering. Like always, it might not be the best thing to do. It might be better to send them directly to your website. And it definitely says to be aware of it and to maybe test it out. Like always, testing, testing, testing. Choose a custom fit over one size fits all. So not all the positions or not all the ad formats will fit the same ad. This one, for example, is a video ad, and because it's a rectangular ad, okay, so it has space to show on the top and the bottom a big headline, a big text, and the video in the middle. But I cannot put the same ad exactly as it is for mobile phones. Because on mobile phones it will be vertical, and then there won't be enough space to show clearly the ad and the text on the top and bottom. So this format is good for a computer, but it's not good for the phone. So you need sometimes to have different versions of your ads for different platforms.
Do we have limitations for text video, but you Facebook has some kind of checking there.
Yes, most of them will have limitations. It's about 30% of the text to video ratio. But you need to try and see. Obviously, if you make something, do it high quality. Don't if you already make a video or an image, it should be good. It should be HD or almost HD. Sorry. So this ad, for example, is good and it's bad. Why? Because on the one side, it's a quite famous company. They use emojis, which is great. It's easy. It's natural, so it fits exactly in what they do. It's smart use. It's playing with the words. It's attracting the eye. But their image is not perfect. On the one side, they show the preview, like a preview of what the product looks like. But because it's far away and there's all this wide space of the desk, I can't really see the product. I can't really see, it's not readable what am I looking at the picture. So it might have been better if they would have shown a bigger size of the actual software and let's say cut out the lamp or cut out the whole sides of this image. Something to think about. Because Twitter is a platform that works on trends, on what's going on and what is cool or what is trending, what everyone is talking right now, then pay attention to big events. Twitter is a great platform to leverage trending topics. So if, for example, everyone now is talking about there's like the Women's World Cup in soccer in France, then it can be a good idea to make a tweet that is mentioning that or using the hashtags of it or making an ad to this type of audience. Same thing for the Super Bowl or for other type of mega events. Finally, and this is a rule for all platforms, learn from your organic tweets or learn from your organic posts in general. Meaning ads usually is the minority. The majority of your content will be non-ads, will be organic content, will be your normal content that you put out on your social media channels. So when you put out a post every week or every day, depending on how much you are working on it, you can learn a lot from looking at the result of your different organic posts and see which one gets more views, which one gets more likes, which one gets more shares. So learn from that and implement what you learned on the organic content into your ads as well. So always learn from both sides. Don't only learn from the ads, also learn from your own organic content, especially to take into account that, once again, most of your content will be organic. Okay? All companies, whether you're small or big, whether you're rich or poor, at the end, most of your content should be like your free content, something that you give out and you put out without spending extra money. Ads should be the sideline, should be the extra, not the main menu. Okay, so this is an introduction overview over Twitter. You'll find the links to those resources as well as the platforms here on the week 16 page of Notion. And now we have, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. If not, you can, the one that want to go can leave. Just I remind you that we have on Wednesday the live class. I'll be giving Wednesday at 7. Same link as last week. The link is in the WhatsApp group. Please join using your laptop or iPad. It's better than the phone. It should work on some phones, but I don't guarantee it. You'll have a better experience on the computer. Be there, log in a few minutes before 7. Don't wait for the last minute. And be aware that unless you cut it out, that most people can see. We can see each other's camera and audio. So I will cut out the audio during the class itself, because if not, everyone will hear the background noise of everyone's home and we won't be able to hear anything. So there will be an option to ask questions, or to someone wants to say something or say a comment or something, either he will be welcome to raise his hand, or to you, there is a chat box on the right side where you can write your question, and then I'll be answering it. Okay? And then for the rest, we'll see each other next week. Have a great week. Good luck. See you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Jeremy. Goodbye, Jeremy. Thank you.